Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. The commentary and views are our opinions. They're not affiliated with the MLB, the MLBPA, the American League, National League, or their sponsors. We're giving live English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Today, we're bringing you from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, the Detroit Tigers versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we'll begin this by giving you the starting lineups first for the visitors from Detroit. Leading off and playing third base, wearing number 30, is Harold Castro. Batting second and playing second base, wearing number 7, is Jonathan Scope. Batting third and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 24, is Miguel Cabrera. In the cleanup spot in right field, wearing number 17, is Austin Meadows. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, wearing number 28, is Javi Baez. Batting sixth and playing first base, wearing number 20, is Spencer Torkelson. Batting seventh in left field, wearing number 21, is Cody Clemens. Batting eighth and doing the catching, wearing number 13, is Eric Haas. And batting ninth and in center field, wearing number 41, is Daz Cameron. They're going to be facing the right-hander, Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller is going to be taking to the hill here with a 2-5 record. He's appeared in 10 games. He has started 8. Worked 43 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 48 hits. 28 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 20 and struck out 37. And he's got an ERA of 5.77. And now the starting lineup for the home team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off and playing third base, wearing number 13, is Ke'Bryan Hayes. Batting second and playing in center field, wearing number 10, is Brian Reynolds. Batting third and playing in left field, wearing number 65, is Jack Sawinski. In the cleanup spot, doing the designated hitting, wearing number 19, is Daniel Vogelbach. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, wearing number 64, is Diego Castillo. Batting sixth in right field, wearing number 31, is Cal Mitchell. Batting seventh and playing second base, wearing number 30, is Tucupita Marcano. Batting sixth and playing first base, wearing number 6, is Yu Chang. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 5, is Michael Perez. And they are going to be facing the right-hander for the Tigers, making his 7th Major League start in Alex Faedo. Faedo is 1-2 on the season. He's worked 32 innings. He's allowed 32 hits, 11 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 21, and he's pitched to a 3.09 earned run average. It's the second game of a mini two-game series here for the Pirates and the Tigers. Tigers won yesterday's ball game 5-3. It was almost a situation where the Tigers had to scratch their starter, Tariq Skubal. They were going to bump him to today's start rather than to start him and then stop him. But the rain impeded the start of yesterday's ball game, and that allowed Skubal to be able to eventually get his regular routine in and then be able to make the start. And he went 7 strong innings, only allowed 3 earned runs for the Tigers yesterday. It was Alex Lang and Gregory Soto who closed the game off for the Tigers as they went on to a 5-3 victory. But today is another day, and the Pittsburgh Pirates do have some exciting pieces of the puzzle that are in their lineup, and they have more help on the way. And we'll get a chance to see Ke'Bryan Hayes and check out Cal Mitchell for the first time, at least that we've called games. So we're excited to be able to see that. So Mitch Keller has completed his warm-up tosses, and Harold Castro is on his way up to the plate, and we're ready to get this one underway. The Tigers are wearing their gray road uniforms, traditional grays. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in their home whites today with their black hats and the gold trim. And so Harold Castro, who's a switch hitter, is batting from the left side. He's batting .284 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 13 RBIs. He's ready to dig in against the right-hander Keller, and he takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Harold Castro, he's not the type of hitter who walks a lot. He has very few walks over the course of his career. He does put the ball in play. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Castro on the season has 114 plate appearances, but he's only walked 3 times. Keller rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. Moving over towards the seats is the left fielder Sawinski, but he's got room and he's going to make the catch. And Harold Castro is retired for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Jonathan Schoop. For Schoop, he's batting 192 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 18 RBIs, but he has played much better recently and swung the stick a lot better recently. He was languishing around the 150 mark for quite a bit of the first 7 weeks of the season. But up until the Yankee series, where most of the Tigers' bats went cold, Schoop has started to figure it out and turned his batting average around as he takes a first pitch fastball low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Schoop. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. One thing that I noticed about Mitch Keller, when I've watched him pitch before, he has a lot of great stuff. He has electric stuff. The problem is he just doesn't have command of his pitches. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. Had Schoop been able to hold off on that swing and miss, it would have been a ball also. And it is reflective in Keller's walks to his innings pitched. But he does have great life on the pitch, a lot of late life, a lot of movement. There was a fastball that comes in on the hands. It swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2 on Schoop. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Schoop, with the Detroit Tigers, was one of their better hitters last season. He's in his 3rd year with the club. He was able to ink a 2-year deal in the offseason. There's a fastball swung on it. It's hit up the middle, and it's going to be past the diving glove of Tucupita Marcano into center field, and Schoop is aboard with a base hit here with 1 away in the Tigers' first inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera. Just to finish off with Jonathan Schoop, he had a fantastic season in 2021, his 2nd full year with the Tigers, and if you consider 2020 a full year with the 60-game shortened season. But he was very, very strong and a big part of the Tiger lineup in 2021. They were banking on much of the same when they re-upped him to a 2-year contract. But he has disappointed a little bit in the early going, but he is starting to pick it up now as the weather starts to warm up, as does Schoop. So here's Miguel Cabrera, and the first pitch to Cabrera is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1. Cabrera on the season is batting .298. He's got 3 homers and 19 runs batted in. In a lot of ways, he's a shell of his former self, but he is enjoying a rejuvenated season this year, at least with the batting average. He has struggled the last few years, and you can really see how much his bat speed has slowed down. There's a breaking ball that's missing outside, and the count is 1-1 to Cabrera. This is arguably his best year average-wise since the 2019 season. The last couple of years have been a bit of a clunker for Miguel as he's been batting around the 250 mark. And we say that for Miguel because he is a professional hitter and one of the best that's ever played the game. Certainly not to his standards. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Of course, the way that the game is played today, there are a lot of players that would be happy with a 255 batting average in some cases. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cabrera. The runner at first is Schoop. It's a beautiful sunshiny day in the Steel City. Here comes the 1-2 offering from Keller. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called 3rd strike. And Cabrera watches that one go by for out number 2. I don't know what he was looking for on that pitch. Maybe something different with the 1-2 count. But it locked Cabrera up, and back to the dugout he goes. And that is going to bring up the right fielder today, Austin Meadows. Meadows is batting .257 on the season. He's got no homers and 11 RBIs. He began his big league career in Pittsburgh. He was with the Pirates before they had shipped him to the Tampa Bay Rays. Keller ready to offer to Meadows, but he throws over to first instead, and back in time easily is the runner Schoop. Meadows was a late spring training acquisition by the Tigers as they acquired him for Isak Paredes and a competitive balance pick. And he has been a help in the Tiger lineup. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. He had some time on the disabled list as he was experiencing some vertigo from an ear infection, and he missed some time. He is He really started strong for the Tigers, but that sort of knocked him out of commission and has brought his average down a little bit since he's come back. He's not got back on track yet. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0 to Meadows. So 2 balls and no strikes. It's a sparse crowd on a getaway day game in Pittsburgh. A lot of empty seats at the 12:30 start. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. Count goes to 2-1 on Meadows. If you've never been to PNC Park, it is an absolutely fabulous place to see a game. It is a jewel with the Allegheny in the outfield, and the way that it is positioned. You've got the bridge toward left center field. Beautiful view, beautiful backdrop for a ball game. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder for Pittsburgh, Cal Mitchell, and he fires it back in. And Meadows has got himself a single, but holding at second is Jonathan Scope. And that ball was absolutely crushed. But on a couple of hops to the right fielder who fields it securely and gets it back in. Sometimes if the balls are hit too hard, like in that case, Jonathan Scope had to stop at second base. If it was a little bit softer, Scope probably goes first to third. But that is going to bring up the shortstop, Javi Baez. For Baez, he's batting .205 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 15 RBIs. And the first pitch to Baez is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Baez. Baez batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Keller, who holds at the belt. He checks the lead runner, Scope, at second base, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. To say that last pitch looked pretty good, but there's no home call getting delivered there for Mitch Keller. So 2 balls and no strikes it is. It was the veteran call for Baez. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 2-1. The home plate umpire is Shane Livensbarger. Bill Welke's at first, Chris Siegel's at second, and Andy Fletcher is at third. That's today's umpiring crew. The Tigers will get another day off tomorrow before they come back to Detroit to host the Toronto Blue Jays. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now is 2-2 to Baez. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Baez. Runner at second is Scope. The runner at first is Meadows. And here comes the 2-2 offering from Keller. He checks his sign. He comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And Baez is down on strikes for out number 3 here in the first inning. The Tigers threaten, but they do not score. There were no runs. There were 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Detroit Tigers, nothing. The Pittsburgh Pirates coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. At the bottom of the first inning, we're glad you guys could be here with us today for this one between the Tigers and the Pirates. Hang tight, everybody.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's today's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning. It is going to be Ke'Bryan Hayes, Brian Reynolds, and Jack Sawinski to get things going for the Pirates. But we'll be back in just a moment here after these tunes, with that call at the bottom of the first inning. We're glad you're with us on a beautiful Wednesday, wherever you're at. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Alex Faedo on the hill for Detroit delivered a first pitch fastball that was up and into Ke'Bryan Hayes. He follows that up with a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. For Hayes on the season, he's hitting .290. He's got a couple of homers and 20 RBIs. He's getting the nod in the leadoff spot. As a fastball swung on, it is grounded to short. It is fielded by Baez over to first, and that is going to retire Hayes on a ground out 6-3 to start the ball game here for the Pirates in their half of the first inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that will bring up the center fielder, Brian Reynolds. For Reynolds on the season, he's batting .221. He's got 8 homers and 14 RBIs. He leads the Pirates in the home run category. He is getting the start today in center field. He was the Pirates representative in the All-Star game last year. He not only was an all-star, but he also claimed some MVP votes. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Reynolds. He was an all-star, but he finished 11th in MVP balloting, led the major leagues in triples with 8. And your pitch, it is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Reynolds. Reynolds batting from the left side against the right-handed Faedo, and there's a breaking ball that swung on. It is lifted into foul territory. Coming over as the third baseman, Castro, but that ball is going to reach the dugout over on that side and the camera area, and that will be 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Reynolds. Reynolds has definitely seen a decline from last season. Last year he batted .302. This year he's .221. His batting average against seeing fastballs has dropped almost 140 points. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-2 for him to Reynolds. And certainly the production that they were expecting from this young center fielder has not been repeated. So here's Faedo back to work. There's a changeup is swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to remain at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Pirates lineup is got a couple of interesting pieces, as we said at the top of the stream, with Ke'Bryan Hayes, Cal Mitchell getting their opportunities, but a lot of these other players have either been acquired in trades or have been basically retreads. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. Brian Reynolds is also one of those players that you would think that is still considered to be a homegrown player who is an interesting player to watch. Originally was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 2nd round out of Vanderbilt University. He made his way to the Pirates organization. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and Reynolds has gone for out number 2 here in the first inning. He came with Kyle Crick in return for Andrew McCutchen in cash. And so they also got international bonus slot money as well, did the Pirates in that trade. So Reynolds, for all intents and purposes, was a premium pick, but he was developed through the system until he got to the big leagues. And then he was been a Pirate his entire career. There's a first pitch fastball that swung on and missed. Count is 0-1 on Jack Sawinski. So with Jack Sawinski, he's batting .232. He's in his rookie season. He's got 6 homers and 14 RBIs. The Illinois native was originally a 15th round pick of the San Diego Padres back in the 2016 draft. And here's the pitch from Faedo. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Swinski. He gets the nod in left field today. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that he swings through and misses, and the count is now 1-2. But as we look up and down this Pirate lineup, as we were saying, outside of Mitchell and Hayes, and then probably Reynolds as the next one who slots in there, there's a lot of guys that are keeping seats warm for some of the younger Pirate prospects, and we'll talk about them throughout the game. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Swinski. So help is on the way if you're a Pirate fan. There's a lot of people that they feel are going to be able to help this club. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt, swung on and missed, picked up by Haas. He throws to first. It's going to go down as a strikeout 2-3 for out number 3. And that is going to do it here for the Pirates in their half of the first inning. So for the Tigers and the Pirates, they've got nothing. We're all locked up at after 1. The Pirates had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the second. His score is 0-0 Pirates and Tigers. We'll be back in just a moment, everybody. We're glad you guys could check in. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you, Steve. After the game, be sure to check out Steve Rademacher and his crazy channel. He'll keep you all entertained with all your baseball needs. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call at the top of the second inning. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Tiger lineup, and it is going to be Spencer Torkelson, Cody Clemens, and Eric Haas. Torkelson takes a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 21 pitches for Mitch Keller in his first inning of work. The Tigers batters were able to really work the counts on him. He struggled with his command to throw first pitch strikes. And he did get deep into most counts, with the exception to the leadoff hitter Castro, who only saw 3 pitches. There's a fastball that missed up to Torkelson, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Keller rocks back into the motion. He delivers a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Torkelson. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Torkelson in his rookie season for the Tigers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count runs to 3-1. Torkelson was on a bit of a hot streak there prior to the Yankee series. He was able to pull his average up above 200. He has languished down around the 150 mark for quite a bit of the season. But now he has dropped back to 194 on the early part of the campaign. There's a fastball that misses down, and Torkelson is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the second inning. So with Torkelson aboard with a walk, it brings up Cody Clemens to the plate. For Clemens, he is looking for his first professional hit. He is 0 for 12 on his early career. He's got no homers, no RBIs, obviously, none of that stuff. So he is stepping up to bat against Mitch Keller here in the top of the second inning. He bats from the left side. He has a very open stance, and he does dive into the pitch, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back on the warning track is the right fielder, Mitchell, and he's got room. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Clemens on one pitch. He took it for a ride, but not far enough, as he found the right fielder's glove in right center field, Cal Mitchell, for out number one. So Clemens is retired, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Eric Haas. For Haas, he's hitting 167 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. He's spent some time on the disabled list this year. He's off to a bit of a slow start. A relative hometown hero for the Tigers. He grew up in Dearborn, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. He takes a first pitch fastball down the middle for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Haas was able to give the Tigers a bit of a jump start in the 2021 campaign. He had 22 homers and knocked in 61. He split time between the catcher's duties and left field. He also did some DHing. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. It's a good stop by the catcher, Perez. The count is 1-1 to Eric Haas. But Haas has struggled this season so far to get the bat going. He's not a big fella. He's a slender guy. They list him at 5'10" and 210. I would suggest the 210 might be a little bit on the heavy side. And there is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1 to Haas. He does run particularly well for a catcher. He doesn't steal many bases. He's only got 2 in his career, but he does get down the line quite well. Keller gets the sign from his catcher, Perez, and he's ready to go to work. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, right to the glove of the second baseman, Marcano, who flips it over to the shortstop covering Castillo. They get the force at second base, as that will retire Torkelson. It's down as a fielder's choice, 4-6. Haas is going to be safe at first base. They weren't able to turn the double play. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Daz Cameron. The way they defensively had Haas set up is the second baseman, Tecapita Marcano, was almost over the bag at second base. He was just slightly to the right of second base. And the ball was struck right to him, where he was able to field the ball and be able to just get to the bag or flip it to the bag safely. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Cameron, and he takes that for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Haas is now the runner at first, and Cameron is batting. Keller comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now is 0-2 to Daz Cameron. Of course, Daz Cameron is the son of longtime major leaguer Mike Cameron, who spent time in the Seattle and Milwaukee organizations, where at least that's where I remember him mostly. He did bounce around a bit through his career at the end. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep right field. Going back is the right fielder, Mitchell, and it's off the wall. It gets away from him. It's played by the center fielder, Reynolds, who fires it in. And scoring all the way from first is Eric Haas. That's going to open the scoring for the Tigers on a triple by Daz Cameron. He picks himself up an RBI with 2 outs here, and he's at third. That ball was absolutely scorched. The right fielder, Mitchell, had gone back all the way to the wall, and he had leaped up against the wall but was unable to come up with it. At first, he started in. He had a bad read on it, and then the ball was not even close. Mitchell got to the wall, and as he leaps up, it must have been probably a good 2 or 3 feet above where his glove was, and then it ricocheted off the wall. It was the center fielder had to come to play it. So I don't know if Mitchell played that particularly well, as there's a breaking ball delivered to Harold Castro that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I say that because had he read that maybe better off the crack of the bat and played it off the wall, he might have been able to hold Cameron to a double. So we'll see how this is going to fare if it's going to do any damage to the Pirates here in their half of the inning. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 to Harold Castro. One would expect, as we said, his first time up with only 3 walks this season, that be prepared. A ball is probably going to be put into play here. So 1-1 to Castro. Keller kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. A little surprising that they would bat Harold Castro with the leadoff spot. As we said, with 3 walks and 114 plate appearances, one would think that you would be looking for somebody to set the table or to be more disciplined at the plate to work the pitcher. But that is not the case here. There was a fastball swung on. It is grounded to second. It is fielded neatly by Marcano. He throws to first, and Castro is retired on a ground out 4-3 for out number 3 here in the second inning. But the Tigers pick up a run on the triple by Daz Cameron. There was 1 run in the inning. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1.5. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back at the call at the bottom of the second inning. After this, we're glad you guys could poke your heads in here today. We appreciate you all for being here. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Welcome back to everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be the heart of the Pittsburgh batting order to face Alex Faedo. That's Daniel Vogelbach, Diego Castillo, and Cal Mitchell to get things going. And the first pitch from Faedo is a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0 to Vogelbach. For Vogelbach on the season, he's hitting .242 with 6 homers and 14 RBIs. And he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. For Daniel Vogelbach, he was in the leadoff spot for some part of the season this year. The big fella swings a fastball and he lifts this into center field. There's a lot of room for the center fielder Cameron, who makes the catch. And Vogelbach is going to be retired for out number 1 here in the second inning. Just to finish off with Vogelbach, they list him at 6 foot 270 pounds. And that might be a little bit on the generous, or maybe not on the generous side, but on the conservative side. It's like Vogelbach has added a few pounds to that girth that he has. He's been with a few teams at the big league level. He was an all-star for the Seattle Mariners back in 2019, but he's found a home this season in Pittsburgh. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Diego Castillo. In some ways, he reminds me of a former Kansas City Royal and Detroit Tiger named Bob Hamlin. The hammer is what Vogelbach looks like, just in terms of his build. There's a fastball that catches the top of the knees on Castillo, and the count goes to 1-1. For Castillo on the season, he's hitting .217. He's got 2 homers and 10 RBIs. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. Alex Faedo does not waste any time with nobody on base. He gets the ball and goes right back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Castillo has gone on strikes for out number 2 here in the second inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Cal Mitchell. I can see why the Tigers really liked Alex Faedo when they drafted him back in 2017. He was a first-round pick out of the University of Florida. Alex Faedo was known as a fastball slider pitcher, and the Pirates today are just waving at that slider. So here comes the pitch, first pitch to Mitchell. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So he has some electric stuff, does Faedo. He had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago, and he has rebounded with the Tigers as he delivers a breaking ball that was taken. They asked the third base umpire, and Mitchell did go around, so the count is 1-0 or 1-1 as they had checked his swing. Faedo ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. So the left-handed hitting Mitchell against the hard-throwing Faedo. I wonder if we're going to see a slider in the back foot here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Faedo ready to go. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and it's fouled away by Mitchell over on the third base side. I think that pitch at 1-2 was way too good. 93 miles an hour right down the middle. Mitchell needs to do a better job of squaring that one up. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Faedo gets the sign from his catcher, Haas, and he rocks into the motion, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and Mitchell has gone down on strikes for out number 3 here in the second inning. So for the Pirates in their half of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the third inning. In just a couple moments, we're glad you guys could stop in here today. Pirates and Tiger baseball, what better to do on a Wednesday afternoon?
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out another Hollis build after the game. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the third inning. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the third inning. It's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Tiger batting order. That means Jonathan Scope, Miguel Cabrera, and Austin Meadows to get things going against Mitch Keller. It has been a ball game here for Keller today. He has had to work quite a bit as he delivers a first pitch breaking ball inside the Scope. He's thrown 38 pitches in his first 2 innings of work. Scope today is 1 for 1. He's raised his season average to 196. Takes a fastball down, and the count is 2-0. The first pitch strikes today by Keller has been his Achilles heel so far through the batting order through the first 10 hitters. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count is now 2-1 to Scope. So 2 balls and 1 strike. But he does have electric stuff. He's got a lot of arm side run. He's got some depth to his pitches as well. And there is a breaking ball swung on, is hit hard over to third. It's fielded neatly by Hayes. He throws to first. Stretching at first is Yu Chang. And that is going to retire Scope on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera today is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. He is on the season batting .296. His average has slipped a couple of points. So here's the first offering from Keller. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So we said that is the challenge for Keller today, is throwing that first pitch strike. Falling behind the count is where he's going to live dangerously here. And here's the pitch to Cabrera. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. Cabrera gets himself dug in, rating on the offering from Keller. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it's grounded to Hayes. Again, he fields it. Again, he throws to first. And that is going to go down as a 5-3 ground out for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Austin Meadows. For Austin Meadows, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first inning. He was left stranded there. Meadows has pulled his average up to .264. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Keller. Keller rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Austin Meadows. Keller ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said in the first at bat, Meadows was a part of the trade that sent him and Chris Archer to Tampa Bay. Or check that, sent him in return for Chris Archer from Tampa Bay. He and Tyler Glasnow went to the Rays. Archer came the other way as the main components of that trade. So here comes the 2-1 offering. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back on the warning track, and he's going to have to play it off the wall is the right fielder Mitchell. And cruising into second is Austin Meadows with a 2-out double. It's his second hit of the ball game. So his return to Pittsburgh today has paid dividends as he's got 2 hits in his first 2 trips to the plate. Is Meadows' 5th double of the season. That's going to bring up Javi Baez. So the Tigers have a runner in scoring position now with 2 away here in the inning. He just missed a home run by maybe about a foot and a half. The ball hit the fence above the padding, but below the top of the fence. The way it works is there's a padding that's probably about 7 or 8 feet high. And there's some chain link, and then there's some top of the fence. And so it hit between the top of the padding and the top of the fence. There's a first pitch breaking ball that is taken down by Javi Baez for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So just a little bit further, that ball would have left the park. So 1 ball and no strikes. And here's the pitch, and it is swung on and missed. And the count goes to 1-1 to Baez. One of the things that I see about Javi Baez is his undisciplined approach at the plate. He really swings and misses at a lot of pitches that are out of the zone. It makes you wonder if he's guessing when he steps to the plate, anticipating that there's going to be a pitch somewhere, and he just takes the cut. Last pitch was up and in. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. Haven't seen the Tigers enough live this year, but that would be my estimation of my time watching him with the Cubs and currently with the Tigers. He's not been able to become more disciplined at the plate. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away down the first base line. And the count's going to go even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Baez. Base hit here would score Meadows and give the Tigers an extra cushion. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Keller checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Keeps the count at 2-2. The first baseman, Spencer Torkelson, waits his turn on deck should Baez find a way on base. So Baez waiting on the offering, the 2-2 offering from Keller. He checks the runner. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. That's a tough pitch. But at the same point in time, that would have been one that probably would have wanted to lay off. That was a breaking ball that was running away, similar to the pitch that they struck Baez out on in the first inning. So here comes the 2-2 offering again. Keller checks the runner, Meadows at second. He kicks and fires. And there is a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Baez has gone down on strikes for the second time today. He is out number 3 here in the third inning. For the Tigers, they strand a runner in scoring position. They had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left the board. We're now through 2.5. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the third inning in just a couple moments. Glad you guys could pop in here and listen with us today. We'll be back in just a bit. Here is
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the third inning. It's going to be Pita Marcano, Yu Chang, and Michael Perez to face the right-hander Alex Faedo. Faedo has yet to allow a runner to reach base, and he's going to be facing the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. He's struck out 4 in his 2 innings of work. He has been very effective so far in this one. And so that brings up Tucupita Marcano. Marcano began his big league career with the San Diego Padres. Takes a break ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He was acquired last July with Michael Milano and Jack Sawinski, who's in the lineup today for Adam Frazier and Cash. So they got 2 starters in the lineup today as part of that trade. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So here comes the offering from Faedo. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Marcano is hitting .276 on the season with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Really wasn't anywhere for Marcano in San Diego. They had Jake Cronenworth. There was a fastball that misses up and away. They had Ha-Seong Kim and, of course, Fernando Tatis, all 3 of those players covering the middle infield. Marcano as the odd man out. Marcano was a Venezuelan signing, international signing. There was a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is now 3-2. He made his major league debut last season with the Padres. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. As he made his debut, he didn't really spend a whole lot of time in the minor leagues. is signed. He began his career in the Dominican Summer League back in 2017. And there is a fastball swung on and another one fouled away. It's turning into quite the battle here between Marcano and Faedo. But he pretty much clipped along through the minor leagues at a pretty good pace, hitting at pretty much every level that he played at. And so here comes the pitch from Faedo. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That keeps the count at 3-2. So nothing fooling Tucupita Marcano here. It's the right-handed slants of Alex Faedo. It's going to be pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Faedo rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. And Marcano is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. A lot of backdoor run on that pitch. That was a fastball that came under the hands. And when you see that pitch, it was a nice little two-seamer with a little bit of backside run on it. And that was able to bring that pitch back just to catch the inside corner, and Marcano was gone on strikes for out number 1 here in the third inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Yu Chang. Faedo ready to deliver to Chang. Chang swings at a first pitch fastball and misses, and the count is 0-1. For Chang on the season, he's batting .045. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He was acquired after the Cleveland Guardians had designated him for assignment. There's a breaking ball that misses off of the plate, and the count is now 1-1. He was purchased by the Pirates back on May the 30th. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2 to Chang. Chang is one of the few players in the league that calls Taiwan his home. The 26-year-old came through the Indians, now Guardians organization. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2 to Chang. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Chang had some issues of being able to stay healthy, to be able to keep himself in the lineup. There's a changeup that misses upstairs, and the count's now 3-2 to Chang. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. He did make his major league debut back in 2019. And he did get some opportunities last year with the Cleveland organization. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away down the left field line. That keeps the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. He hit .228 for the Cleveland organization last year. He did show some power. He had 9 homers and 39 runs batted in. But striking out 69 times in his 237 at-bats was not appealing. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is lifted softly into center field. And that ball is going to get down in front of Daz Cameron, and the Pirates have their first hit of the ball game. As Yu Chang has a bleeder, that's only his second hit of the season. So Chang is aboard, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Michael Perez. For Perez, he's batting 109 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Another player in the Pittsburgh lineup is struggling offensively. He came over from the Rays organization last season. He's in his second tour here with the second season, and there's a fastball swung on. This is ripped into right field. Gets through the 4-hole. Fielded neatly by Meadows, and getting all the way around to third is Yu Chang. So back-to-back singles here with 1 out in the Pirates' third inning. They've got something brewing against Alex Faedo, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Ke'Bryan Hayes. For Hayes, he is arguably the most exciting player right now in the Pirate lineup. The young player defensively and offensively is the son of former big leaguer Charlie Hayes. There's a lot of fanfare around him getting him to the big leagues. As we were saying earlier, there is going to be some help on the way at the major league level for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as they've got a farm system that is stocked with prospects. And the throw over to first base and getting back in time is the base runner, Perez. The Pirates, as we were talking about their prospects, as there was a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Have a series of number 1 picks that are on their way. Number 1 ranked in their organization is Nick Gonzalez, the former New Mexico player, first-round pick. He was a second baseman. They figure at some point this year he will make an appearance in the big leagues. And here's the pitch from Faedo. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count is 1-1. They drafted Henry Davis, who they feel is a couple of years away. He's down in A-ball right now, and he's having himself a decent year. O'Neill Cruz made his big league debut last season. The 6'7" Dominican, who is listed as a shortstop, who's played shortstop in the minors. I don't know if he's going to do that in the big leagues. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-1, or if he's going to be moved off into the outfield. They also have another Latin player, Leover Peguero. Peguero is another highly thought-after prospect, but they don't anticipate he's going to be into the show until 2023, so another year away for the 21-year-old. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Hayes. So when you think of those offensive players that they have, and Peguero is also a shortstop, so between Cruz and Peguero, there can only be one guy playing that position. Eventually, somebody's going to have to get moved out of that spot. Throwing over to first base and getting back in time as the runner Perez again. So one would have to think that Diego Castillo, the current shortstop, is keeping the seat warm for one of those two players. Certainly those guys in particular, Gonzalez, Davis, Cruz, Peguero, more impact players into the lineup that are ready to come in another year or two. Here's a fastball that swung on and missed. And Hayes is gone on strikes for the second out of the inning. That is the 6th strikeout of the ball game for Faedo. And that will bring up the center fielder, Brian Reynolds. On top of that, they have some arms that are also on the way, but they're not as highly touted as the bats. They have some fellas that are, and they are a little further away. Quinn Priester, who's the top pitching prospect in the Pirate organization. I don't feel that he's going to be ready till 2023 at some point. He is in Double-A right now. So here's the pitch from Faedo. It's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1 to Brian Reynolds. Reynolds today is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And his average has dipped to 220 on the season. Tigers are shading Reynolds to the right side. They've got Harold Castro off of the bag into the 6 hole at third base. All the other infielders are to the right side of the infield, facing Reynolds here. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball swung on it as pop foul. And it's going to reach the seats over behind the third base dugout, and that's going to run the count to 0-2 on Reynolds. So no balls and 2 strikes. If you're listening in on delay or whether you're listening live, we'll be back on the airwaves. We're planning on it again tomorrow. We're looking at doing the Red Sox and the Angels. It'll be an exciting matchup between Shohei Ohtani and Nick Pivetta. Boston into LA as the Angels have changed their manager and fired Joe Madden. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. And Reynolds stood there like the house by the side of the road. So Faedo strikes out the side around a couple of singles. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left the board. We're now through 3 complete. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 4th inning. After this, we're glad you guys could stop in and check it out today. Or whether you're listening live or on delay, we're always glad that you guys have popped in. Here is Steve Rademacher.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top of the fourth inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the Tiger lineup to face the right-hander Mitch Keller. That means it's going to be Spencer Torkelson, Cody Clemens, and Eric Haas to get things going. For Torkelson, he is officially 0 for 0 today because he walked in the second inning. He was raced on a fielder's choice. The rookie first baseman is batting 194 on the season. And here comes the first offering from Mitch Keller. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. The game here, in my opinion, if the Tigers get into becomes a battle of the bullpens, my money goes on Detroit. The Tigers can hold their lead here as the breaking ball drops in for a called strike. Count is 1-1. They become a very tough team to beat. The Tigers bullpen has one of the best ERAs in all of baseball and has flirted at times being the best. There's a fastball that swung on, is tapped slowly over to third. It's fielded by Hayes. He throws across the diamond, and Torkelson is retired on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Cody Clemens. Just to finish that thought off with the Tigers bullpen, if it gets to the battle of the bullpens, the edge goes to for sure, it ends up going to the other one. So Cody Clemens steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Clemens flied out to right his first time up. So Keller rocking into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to first and is fielded by Chang. He steps on the bag, and Clemens is retired on a ground out to 3 for out number 2. And his hitless streak continues as he's 0 for 14 to begin his big league career. That is going to bring up the catcher, Eric Haas. For Haas today, he is 0 for 1. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. So Haas is seen his average slip to 165. He did score the Tigers' only run as he came home on the triple by Daz Cameron. So Keller rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Eric Haas. Haas batting from the right side against the righty Keller, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-1. One thing that stands out for me is the lack of competitive at-bats from some of the players at the bottom part of the batting order for Detroit. Got to find a way to turn the batting order over, and there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 2-1. Look at Cody Clemens. He's seen 3 pitches in his 2 outs today. You got Eric Haas, who had a little bit more battle in him. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Counts 2-2. Spencer Torkelson needs to put better swings on better pitches. Javi Baez, though he fouled pitches off and went deep in the count, well, his results were in strikeouts, but not just strikeouts, waving at pitches that were well off the outside corner. So that bottom half of the Tiger order needs to have some more competitive at-bats. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. That's in my opinion anyway. I don't know if the Tigers in particular would say that about their own team, but I definitely think that that is an issue. So here comes the pitch from Keller. It is delivered. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Haas has gone on strikes for the third out of the inning. So the Tigers go quietly in their half of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 3.5. It is the Tigers 1, the Pirates nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call. The bottom of the fourth inning in just a couple moments. Glad you guys could pop in here with us, whether you're live or on delay. We appreciate y'all being here. Here is our friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
We'll be right back in 30 seconds after this with the call at the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Detroit over Pittsburgh. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Pittsburgh Pirates to face the right-hander Alex Faedo. It is Jack Suwinski, Daniel Vogelbach, and Diego Castillo. And the first pitch breaking ball delivered to Suwinski is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Faedo has 7 strikeouts through the first 3 innings of work, as he delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As we were mentioning earlier, in the trade with the San Diego Padres, Jack Suwinski and Tucupita Marcano coming the Pirates' way, 2 ninths of the starting lineup were involved in that trade. There's a changeup that is swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back and looking up, and it is gone. A home run into the section in right field. And Suwinski, on 1 swing of the bat, has tied the ball game here for the Pirates. And that ball got out in a hurry. Suwinski, that is his 7th homer of the campaign. Since he has been called up, he has been able to show that he's got some juice in the bat. And he deposits that one in the seats in a right center field. And the Pirates have evened the score at 1-1. Faedo left that pitch hanging up in the zone, and that ball was absolutely drilled into section 142. And that is going to bring up the big fella, Daniel Vogelbach, and he takes a big swing at the first pitch and misses, and the count is 0-1. It looked like Vogelbach wanted to hit it in the same section. So here comes the 0-1 offering now to Vogelbach. Faedo delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Daniel Vogelbach. This is the only game going on in Major League Baseball at the moment. We figured we'd jump on the train here. There's a breaking ball that is down and in, and the count is now 2-1 to Vogelbach. All other games will be coming up a little bit later. The next one to start in about 30 minutes or less will be the Blue Jays and the Royals. Ito rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit to the right side into the shift. It is fielded by Scope. He throws over to Torkelson, and that is going to retire Vogelbach on a ground out, 4-3. They had Scope in shallow right field, and they hit the ball right into the shifted Vogelbach, right to the second baseman. He was positioned perfectly. And that is going to retire him for out number 1 here in the 4th inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Diego Castillo. For Castillo on the season, his average has slipped now to 215. He's 0 for 1 today. He takes a breaking ball outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Diego Castillo. Faedo goes into the motion. He rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. There's a lot of room out there for the left fielder, but Daz Cameron comes racing over and cuts in front of the left fielder, Cody Clemens, to make the catch. Looked like Clemens is camped out underneath it, and Cameron ran right in front of him to make the grab. They can laugh about it a little bit right now, but I'm not sure what the situation there. It looked like that Clemens was going to make the catch, and Daz Cameron cut right in front of him to make the grab for the second out of the inning and avoided a collision. But not just a collision, but a gaff. So Cameron makes the catch, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Cal Mitchell. Well, good thing that Clemens is smiling out of that one, but that reminded me a little bit of the Tampa Bay Rays' Kevin Kiermaier cutting off the left fielder. I believe it was Randy Arozarena last year, and there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. He literally cut out right in front of him to make the catch and then to make a throw. Very, very similar. So 1 ball and no strikes to Cal Mitchell. Faedo delivers a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So that's pretty much the most excitement we've had here in a little bit. This game here has not had a lot of traffic on the base paths. The home run by the Pirates here in their 4th. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0 to Mitchell. Side of that, the Tigers had some runners on in each of their first 3 innings, but the game has really quieted off. Tigers do have Mitchell played in a shift to the right side. Here comes the 3-0 offering. That's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted into center field. Coming in on it is Cameron, and he makes the grab, and that is going to do it here for out number 3. Mitchell swinging 3-0, hits a shallow fly ball to center field, and that is going to do it here for the Pirates in their half of the 4th inning. So for Pittsburgh, they got the run on the home run by Jack Sawinski. There was a run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 4 complete. As the Tigers won, the Pirates won. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the call. The top of the 5th inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us, whether you're listening live or on delay. We're glad you are all here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Be sure after the game to go check out Matt Hollis. That's another Hollis build. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 5th inning. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the fifth inning. It's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the Tiger batting order, and that means it's going to be Daz Cameron, Harold Castro, and Jonathan Scope. It was the entertaining inning for the Tigers defensively in the last half, as Cameron had cut right in front of the left fielder Cody Clemens. Have to come and make that grab. And it was a shallow fly ball that he really had to come hard on to have to make that catch to end the inning. And he leads it off here, and the count is 1-0. Cameron tripled his first time up and knocked in the Tigers' only run. And here's the offering from Keller. It swung on and fouled away right into the shin of Cameron. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Cameron, with that triple his last time up, has pulled his average up to 226. He bats from the right side against the right-handed throwing Keller. This is not Cameron's first time to the big leagues. He's been up and down the ladder a couple of times with the Tigers. And there's a fastball that is delivered upstairs. They check the swing over to the first base umpire. They say Cameron didn't go, and the count is now 2-1. Cameron made his big league debut back in 2020. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to short. It's fielded by Castillo. He fires across the diamond. And Cameron is retired. It goes down as a ground out 6-3 for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Just to finish off on Daz Cameron, we were saying before that he was part of that trade for Justin Verlander. He and Jake Rogers, as well as Franklin Perez. Perez, last time we looked, he was originally released and then re-signed by the Tigers and their organization. He had shoulder issues and really had never got anything going. And there's a first pitch delivered to Harold Castro, who shows bunt, but it's taken outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Castro batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Keller. Keller rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Harold Castro. Castro waiting on the offering from the righty Keller. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And that count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. For Castro, at least in my opinion, when I watch him play, his bat seems to play pretty well. His glove is the question mark. Not sure how the Tigers, where they project to see him long-term. Keller gets the sign from his catcher, Perez, and he's ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung at. It's in the dirt. It's fielded by the catcher. They throw to first. It's going to go down as a strikeout 2-3 for out number 2. Just to finish off on Harold Castro. Where he fits in the Tiger lineup, I'm not sure. His glove, I don't think, plays well enough for third base. Obviously, they've got first bases blocked with Torkelson. Unless they consider to make him a utility player, it's going to be a challenge to see where they have a spot for him. But as long as he continues to hit, they're going to have no choice but to make a spot. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Scope, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Jonathan Scope. Scope today is 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and grounded out his last time. Takes a fastball outside, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 balls and no strikes to Jonathan Scope. Keller ready to give the offering as he gets the sign from his catcher, Perez. He rocks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's popped up on the right side of the infield. Coming in on it is Yu Chang. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers. They again go quietly in the 5th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. That's 7 retired now by Mitch Keller. After 4.5, it is the Tigers 1, the Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We'll be back in just a couple moments with a call of the bottom of the fifth inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here to face Alex Faedo, and starting it off is Tucupita Marcano. He swings and misses at the first fastball delivered to him, and the count is quickly 0-1. For Marcano today, he is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up as he waits on the 0-1 offering from Faedo, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. Marcano entered the game today hitting .276. His average has dropped 9 points. He's at .267 now, so not a lot of at-bats under his belt this year. A couple of homers and 5 RBIs, and Faedo steps off the back of the rubber and will get ready to do this again. So here comes the 0-2 offering. It is a breaking ball down in the dirt. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tucupita Marcano. And here comes the offering now from Faedo. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into foul territory over on the third base side. Looks like there's going to be room as the third baseman Castro comes in and he makes the grab, and that is going to retire Marcano for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that will bring up the first baseman, Yu Chang. For Chang, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled and was stranded at third base his first time up. It was only his second hit of the season, so he almost doubled his batting average as he's hitting now .087. As we mentioned, it was his second hit, as there's a breaking ball that is down and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Faedo ready to rock and deliver. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Chang batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Faedo. He gets the sign from his catcher, and he kicks and delivers. And there is a changeup that is swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-2. One thing I'd be curious to know about Chang, usually the Asian hitters, they do much better against the breaking balls and the off-speed pitches. I think of another Pirate player who's on the disabled list, Yoshi Satsugo, very good breaking ball hitter. There's a 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the first base side. Coming over, but watching it sail into the seats is Spencer Torkelson, as that ball is going to drift about 5 to 10 rows deep. So interesting to see how you would attack Yu Chang if the breaking balls are something that the Asian players can feast on. Well, that might be right up the alley facing somebody like Alex Faedo, who is predominantly a fastball slider pitcher. So here comes the 2-2 pitch now from Faedo. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses low. That runs the count now to 3-2 on Chang. We've got one out here on the bottom of the fifth inning, and it's a full count to Chang. Faedo gets the sign from his catcher, Eric Haas. He rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And that's ball 4, but Chang doesn't know the count as he stands at the plate, and now somebody has to tell him it's ball 4. And now he's making his way to first base. Bit of foreign ground for Chang this year, reaching base. That's the second time today he has reached the first base, as he singled in the third inning, and now he's drawn himself a one-out walk. And that's going to bring up Michael Perez. For Michael Perez, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled his first time up. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Faedo. Perez has brought his average up to 128 on the campaign. And Faedo throws over to first, and getting back in time is the base runner Chang. Chang, with his time in Cleveland, he has only one stolen base in his career. He doesn't have any caught stealings either, so not necessarily a threat to run. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is quickly 1-0 to Perez. But nevertheless, you have to keep an eye on Chang to see if they will put him in motion, maybe to stay out of the double play if they get a favorable count here. They do have the infield, the Tigers, with 3 fielders to the right side. They've moved Harold Castro into the 6 hole. And here's the pitch from Faedo. It's a breaking ball that is swung on. The runner was going. This has popped up into shallow right field. Coming hard is Austin Meadows, and he makes the grab. And that is going to retire Perez. And he has gone for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order, Ke'Bryan Hayes. So just what I thought might happen was to put that runner in motion, the potential of staying out of the double play. They get into a favorable count. They can put the ball in play and possibly go first to third if they can do something there with it. Instead, that ball was popped out for out number 2. And so Ke'Bryan Hayes steps to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. He is grounded to short and is struck out in his 2 plate appearances. His average has dipped to 286. So 2 outs and a runner on first for the Pirates. They're looking to break the deadlock. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The first base side of home plate, and the count is quickly 0-1. There is action in the Tiger bullpen as Andrew Chafin is up and throwing, the left-hander. He's throwing with some ferociousness. Might be the end of the day for Alex Faedo coming quickly here as he's up to his 80th pitch of the ball game. And here comes the 0-1 offering to Hayes. Faedo delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 0-2. I wonder at this point now if it's going to be a steady diet of sliders for Hayes, as Faedo will try to get himself out of this 5th inning to see if they empty the tank here. So here comes the 0-2 offering to Hayes. And there is a slider that misses down in the dirt, and the count is now 1-2. So Hayes does a pretty good job of showing some discipline, holding off on the slider in the dirt. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hayes. The runner at first is Chang. There's 2 away here in the 5th inning. Faedo gets the sign from his catcher, Haas. He comes set at the belt. But instead, he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Chang. So 1-2 it still is here on Ke'Bryan Hayes. Faedo holds set at the belt. There goes the runner. It's a fastball. It's taken. They throw down to second. It's in time, and that is going to nail Chang. And so that's going to go down as a caught stealing, 2-6. And Chang is retired for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Pirates in their half of the fifth. So no runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 5 complete. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 6th inning after this. We're glad you guys could be in here and get into the game today with us. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That's right, everybody. After the game, be sure to check out Matt Hollis and Another Hollis Build. We'll be right back in 30 seconds with the call at the top of the 6th inning. We're glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is Miguel Cabrera to lead it off here in the top of the 6th inning, and he swings at a breaking ball and misses, and the count is 0-1. Cabrera, Austin Meadows, and Javi Baez here in the top of the 6th to face the right-handed throwing Mitch Keller, who rocks into the motion and kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to first base, and they say that Cabrera did go, and the count is now 0-2. Cabrera today is 0 for 2. He struck out looking, and he's grounded to third in his 2 trips to the plate. Keller gets the sign from the catcher Perez. He rocks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 it is to Cabrera. So we said at the earlier part of the stream, Cabrera has found the fountain of youth here a little bit for the Tigers this season, as his batting average has gone back to that of the 2019 and before years. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-2. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say Cabrera didn't go. They do have action in the Pittsburgh bullpen as Will Crow is up and throwing. So looks like both of these starters' days are close to being finished, if not already completed. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Cabrera has gone on strikes for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up Austin Meadows. For Meadows today, he is 2 for 2. He has a single and a double to his name. He has raised his average to 271. So Austin Meadows steps up to the plate, waiting on the offering from Mitch Keller, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Meadows digs in. He's got himself set, and here's the offering from Keller. It's another breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 2-0. It's been a fairly quiet day for the Tiger fielders today, as in the first 3 innings, Alex Faedo had struck out 7 of the 9 outs. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. But in the last inning, there were 4 balls that were put in play, and 3 of them, actually a number of balls put in play, but 4 of the outs were recorded as fly ball outs or pop-ups. There's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is now 3-1. I wonder if that's something that Alex Faedo, that you would look at in his pitching too. I think about that as he was striking out guys, and he seemed to lose a little bit off his stuff after the 3rd inning. I do believe they are going to be going to the bullpen, the Tigers, as Andrew Chafin was getting himself hot in that last inning. But losing a little bit there, Faedo, when balls start getting elevated into the air, that's something that is something the Tigers have picked up on, or in his delivery, or at least in his mechanics, where it's time to get him out of the game. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and that is going to be ball 4 to Austin Meadows. He's aboard with a 1-out walk. That is going to bring up Javi Baez. For Baez today, he is 0 for 2. He has struck out both times he's come to the plate. His season average is at .202. He's got 3 homers on the year and 15 runs batted in. One would think he's going to get a steady diet of breaking balls toward the back end of this at bat. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So there's good misses and bad misses, and that was certainly a bad miss, as the catcher Perez was set up inside, and the fastball ended up about 4 inches off the outside corner. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Baez. Baez is a flashy player and definitely an upgrade in some ways to what the Tigers had rolling out at shortstop in previous years. Baez digs in, and he's waiting on the 1-1 offering now from Keller. And Keller holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and now that runs the count to 1-2. That pitch was the same pitch that they were able to get Baez out on the first 2 at-bats. It was a breaking ball that was just off the outside corner. I'm curious to see if they'll go back to it, if they're going to set him up by throwing something else and then going to that pitch. So here comes the 1-2 offering from Keller. He kicks and delivers. It is the breaking ball, and again, Baez waves at it. 3 times in a row today, he's gone down on strikes, and he's done it all pretty much on the same pitch. He has gone for out number 2 here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Spencer Torkelson. So for Torkelson on the afternoon, he is 0 for 1. He's grounded out, and he has walked today. So he bats with 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Keller holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that is down in the dirt. A good stop by the catcher Perez. That's going to run the count quickly to 1-0 to Torkelson. Torkelson on the season has seen his average dip to 192 today. As we said before the Yankee series, he started to swing the bat a little bit better. He pulled his average up well over 200. There's a fastball swung on it, is tapped over to Brian Hayes, who cuts in front of the shortstop Diego Castillo to make the play. He throws it to second, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 6th inning. There was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner stranded aboard. And that is a 5-4 fielder's choice that ends the inning for out number 3. At the end of 5.5, it is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 6th inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be with us here, live or on delay. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support of the channel. And it is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. In their half of the inning, it'll be Ke'Bryan Hayes, Brian Reynolds, and Jack Sawinski. We're just going to wait confirmation here to get the pitching change for the Tigers, but I believe Alex Fado is done. We are just going to wait on the official word. It is done for sure. It's going to be Andrew Chafin coming in to pitch. Chafin was originally a first-round pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks out of Kent State University back in the 2011 draft. And Chafin spent his first 7 years of his career with the Diamondbacks, and then he has bounced around the last little bit. The last couple of years with the Cubs, and then he was with Oakland last season. And now he is a part of the Detroit Tigers. He's been a very effective reliever. His career, he is 12-18, but he's got an ERA of 3.28. Like a fine wine, he gets better with age. So he is here to face the top of the order, and the first pitch delivered to Ke'Bryan Hayes is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So it'll be the top of the order. It'll be Hayes, Reynolds, and Sawinski to face the left-handed throwing Andrew Chafin. And here's the 1-0 offering. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. Chafin, in some ways, when I see him, he reminds me of the Tigers catcher Jake Rogers with the mustache that he has. It's when you look at him, it's not we would say, a body that fills out a uniform really well. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count's now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes from Chafin. On the season this year, this is his 18th appearance for the Tigers. He's worked 13 innings. He's allowed 13 hits and 4 runs, all of which have been earned. And there is a fastball that misses up and away, and 4 pitches in a row, all 4 for balls. And the Tigers have the high alert on in the bullpen as Will Vest is up and throwing. One would think that with the Tiger bullpen here, they have some decent rest. We would think that almost everybody should be available to enter into the game tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. They got a pretty good start last night out of Tariq Skubal, who took them 7 innings. Maybe the only one that may not be available might be Alex Lang. I wonder if they'll double up on him today. So flipping it over to first base and getting back easily in time is the base runner Hayes. So Reynolds, Sawinski, and Vogelbach to follow Hayes here now in the inning. Reynolds is batting from the right side for the first time today. And there's a breaking ball swung on it. Has popped up to the right side of the infield. Drifting back on it is the second baseman, Scope. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Reynolds for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Jack Sawinski. Sawinski's been the lone offense for the Pirates today. He homered back in the 4th inning, driving in a run, which was himself, and tying up the ball game. So he is 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Sawinski batting from the left side against the left-hander Chafin. Chafin gets the sign from his catcher, Haas, and now he's ready to go to work. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Sawinski has pulled his average up to 237 on the campaign with that homer in his last at bat. Chafin throws over to first, and getting back in time is Ke'Bryan Hayes. Got to keep your eyes on Hayes. He's got 7 stolen bases. He's got the most in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the starting lineup today. And here's the pitch from Chafin. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sawinski. Chafin gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up. And now he's ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher, Haas. He comes set at the belt. But now time has been called, as the catcher has asked for time. And we're going to reset this and do this all over again. So here comes the 1-1 offering from Chafin. He kicks, but he throws over to first. And again, getting back in time is the base runner, Hayes. So 1 ball and 1 strike still to Sawinski. Be curious to see if the Pirates will put Hayes in motion here. Here comes the 1-1 offering as Chafin delivers. It's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Sawinski. Sawinski's homer came in the 4th inning off of the Tigers starter Alex Faedo. He deposited that ball in the right center field seats. But the lefty-lefty matchup is what the Tigers were looking for here to turn the switch hitter Reynolds around and bring up the left-handed hitting Sawinski. And he waves at a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And he has gone for out number 2. So Sawinski is retired, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, or scheduled to bring up the designated hitter, Daniel Vogelbach. So Vogelbach comes to the plate today. He is 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and grounded out to second. His average has dipped to 238 on the season. He does have juice in the bat. He's got 6 homers. So Chafin gets the sign from his catcher, Haas. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And the count is 0-1 to Vogelbach. When Vogelbach was hitting in the leadoff spot, I never did get the final analysis on that, but I wondered if he was the heaviest hitter ever. And I say heaviest not in terms of the bat power, but in terms of weight to ever hit leadoff at the 270 listed weight. If there was anybody bigger in baseball to hit in the leadoff spot. There's another breaking ball delivered, and it is waved out and missed, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We got James Lil. He says, can you please help me out? Should I take the under 5 runs in this full game? Appreciate it there, James. I'll give you my thought in a second. And there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and Vogelbach is gone on strikes for out number 3. And for the Pirates in their half of the 6th inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We're now through 6 completed. It is all tied at 1. And to answer James's question, what would I do in this situation? I probably would take the under. It looks like these bats are pretty frozen up today. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you all checking us out. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Here is our friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. That's Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check out his channel. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 7th inning after this. Fine tune. Welcome back, everybody. We do a pitching change. It is going to be Will Crowe coming on in relief. He is going to take over for Mitch Keller, who had a fine outing today. The right-handed pitching Crowe is 2-2 on the season. This is going to be his 23rd appearance. All except for one has been in relief. He has worked 32 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 18 hits. He has given up 10 runs, 8 of which have been earned. He's walked 14 and struck out 34. He's going to be coming in to face the bottom third of the Tiger batting order. That is going to be Cody Clemens, Eric Haas, and Daz Cameron to get things going for the Tigers in their half of the 7th inning. And we appreciate those who are here. Yeah, James has asked the question, and we already answered your question, James. We said in the last half inning, yeah, you should. That's what I would do. Take the under on the 5. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Crowe, and that is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The Tiger bats are cold, as are the Pirate bats, and certainly the Tiger bullpen is pretty much locked down when it gets into these later parts of the ballgame, as they have one of the best ERAs in all of baseball. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. But then again, that is my thoughts. I think that the Tigers would be best served, or at least you'd be best served in doing it that way. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and it is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-1. So Clemens today is 0 for 2. He has flown to right and grounded to first in his 2 trips to the plate. He's still looking for his first major league hit. There's a breaking ball that is a check swing that is now ruled a strike, and the count is 2-2. Our friend Vivid Life is in the house today, and we welcome him, probably waking up from his midnight shift, as he's one of our late night guys. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Clemens has gone on strikes for out number 1 here in the 7th inning, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Eric Haas. Vivid Life is making a statement saying that he thinks the Tigers are about to heat up. The Tigers were starting to heat up until they had that 3-game series in the Bronx, and the Yankees really put their bats on ice. They're going to have to try to rebound here, obviously, with the win last night against the Pirates, to get things going before the hot Toronto Blue Jays roll into Comerica. There's a fastball that's taken at the knees by Eric Haas, and the count is 0-1 to him. Haas today has scored the only run for the Tigers. He scored after he reached on a fielder's choice, and a triple by Daz Cameron brought him home. There's a fastball that misses way outside, and it scoots all the way to the backstop, and the count goes to 1-1 on Haas. Haas did strike out his last time up, so he is officially 0 for 2 on the afternoon. So right-hander against the right-hander. Crowe goes into the motion. He delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Haas. The Tigers had a base runner last inning when Austin Meadows had walked, but they had gone 8 batters in a row being retired straight until Meadows had come to the plate. The starter, Mitch Keller, really settled down after the 3rd inning, and there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daz Cameron is waiting his turn on deck, as Haas is ready to get the pitch from Crowe. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. The Tigers do have a righty up in the bullpen. It is Will Vest. I do think we're going to see a pitching parade for both of these teams from now to the end of the ball game. As we said, I think the Tigers, probably the only player that I would wonder if is available tonight would be Alex Lang, as Lang had pitched last night, and he'd thrown a couple of days before that. He threw a number of pitches as he worked a couple innings. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. But one would think that the bullpen is ready to go today again, except for maybe Lang. So 2-2 to Haas. The Pirates, on the other hand, their bullpen is sometimes what I would call hit and miss. We've seen them play a few times this year, and their bullpen has been lit up pretty good. We did the Brewers and the Pirates earlier in the season, and we've watched the Pirates a few other times, and they have definitely struggled on the back end. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-2. As we said, help is on the way offensively for the Pirates as we went through some of their prospects earlier, but pitching is something that they could use some help. There's no Garrett Cole on the way right now in their system. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Eric Haas doesn't like the call, but he is retired on strikes for out number 2. He was on his way to first base, and the home plate umpire, Shane Livensberger, pulls the chain on him to ring him up for out number 2. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Daz Cameron. That last pitch was way too close to take. It was a pitch that was right around the knees, and since the right-hander Crow had come in the game, he's been around the plate. And there's a first pitch breaking ball that misses inside to Daz Cameron, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Cameron. Cameron's 1 for 2 today. He tripled home the only run of the ball game for the Tigers back in the second inning. Tigers had their opportunities early as they stranded 4 runners in the first 3 innings. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. They had, in the first inning, they had a couple on, but they weren't able to cash in. Lack of clutch hitting in 2-out situations has been the challenge for the Tigers in recent games. There was a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2 to Cameron. So Cameron gets himself dug in. It's the short sprint series. This is game 2 of a 2-game series. The Tigers have the night off tomorrow, and then they entertain the Toronto Blue Jays beginning on Friday night at Comerica Park. Crow gets the sign from his catcher, but doesn't like what was happening, so they're going to reset the signs and go through this all over again. So here comes the 1-2 offering to Cameron. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Daz Cameron. It's a beautiful day in Pittsburgh, and the Allegheny and the backdrop is looking spectacular as always. There's a breaking ball that is swung out in the dirt. It is fielded by Perez. He throws down to first, and that is going to retire Daz Cameron. It's going to go down in the books as a strikeout 2-3 for the putout. So Will Crow comes in and strikes out the side in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board for Detroit. We're now through 6.5. It is the Detroit Tigers 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everyone. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 7th inning. We're glad you guys could be here. Here is our friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys do stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out him after the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call of the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the Tigers 1, the Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change for the Detroit Tigers. It's going to be Will Vest taking over on the hill. Vest is going to be appearing in his 17th game. He is 0-1 on the season. He's worked 19 innings. He's allowed only 7 hits, 4 runs all earned, 5 walks, and he has struck out 25. He's going to face Diego Castillo. It'll be Cal Mitchell and Tucupita Marcano, and the first pitch to Castillo is a fastball at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. For Will Vest, he is seeing his first big league action for the Tigers. He was a Rule 5 pick out of the Tiger organization by the Seattle Mariners last year. And there's a breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. And so as part of that Rule 5 draft, he had to stay on the big league roster for the entire season. He got off to a great start for the Mariners in the month of April and early May. And there is a breaking ball swung on it. It's tapped slowly over to third. It's fielded by Castro. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Castillo on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. So just a little more on Will Vest there. And Vest, he did get roughed up. And then the Mariners basically sent him back to Detroit. They have to offer him back to Detroit. And the Tigers obviously took him back. I believe on that type of deal, they can buy him back for like $1. Something crazy. But he ended up coming back to Detroit, was down in the minors for the rest of the year, and made the big league roster out of spring training. And here is Will Vest. He's pitching very well for Detroit. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count is 1-0 to Cal Mitchell. For Mitchell on the season, on the ball game, he's struck out and he's flown out. He is hitting .238 on the campaign. The last time he was up, he flew up to center field, but it was on a 3-0 pitch. He popped it up into shallow center field. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to first. Fielding it is Torkelson. Covering the bag is Vest, the pitcher. That's going to go down as a ground out 3-1 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Tucupita Marcano. For Marcano today, he is 0 for 2. He struck out looking his first time up and flew out to center field. His average has dipped down to .258. Marcano batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Vest. Vest now comes set at the belt. And he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Marcano. Vest gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go back to work. He's set at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Marcano's first at-bat today off of Alex Faedo was a very competitive at-bat. He battled him for 9 pitches before he struck out looking. It was a really good 2-seam fastball by the pitcher Faedo that retired him on strikes. There was a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. The count is 1-2. The last time up, he had popped out to the third baseman in foul territory. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marcano. It's a beautiful day in Pittsburgh. The one thing that we did note is that the bridge there in the left center field is under some sort of repair. And there is a fastball swung on and missed. And Marcano is gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Pirates in their half of the 7th. So they go quietly. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th inning. It's the Tigers 1, the Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys are with us, whether you're listening live or on delay. It's always a pleasure to have you on the Last Raps Baseball channel. Here's our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
We'll be right back in just a couple minutes, everybody. With the call at the top of the 8th inning, we're glad you guys could be here with us. Let's wind this up a little bit with some good down-home country music. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be the top of the order for the Detroit Tigers. Harold Castro, Jonathan Scope, and Miguel Cabrera, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the batting order to face Will Crowe, who is on for his second inning of work. He had a very strong 7th inning as he struck out the Tigers 1, 2, 3 in order. Now he's facing the top of the order in Castro, Scope, and Cabrera. This is the Harold variety of the Castros. Of course, Willie not in the game today. And the first pitch is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. For Harold Castro, he is 0 for 3 today. He's flown to left, he's grounded to second, and he struck out in the 5th inning. Castro batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Crowe, and he swings at that and fouls it away, and the count is now 0-2. As we said earlier, entering the ball game, that Castro has only got 3 walks and 114 plate appearances. That is something that he has not done in his career. He does put the bat on the ball. He does put it into play. He doesn't particularly strike out a whole lot. And there is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. But his plate discipline is not something that is one of his strengths. Up in throwing in the Tiger bullpen is Michael Fulmer. Fulmer looks like he is getting loose to come in for the bottom of the 8th inning. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is hitting the left field. It's going to get down for a single in front of the left fielder, Sawinski. And Castro is aboard with a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Jonathan Scope. For those of us who jump in when we do the Japanese games on the weekends or sometimes even in the late night hours, it is the time of the year or the time of the game where we would naturally think that a sack bunt would be coming up here. But it's the difference between Major League Baseball and Japanese baseball. They definitely don't play a lot of small ball in North America. And here's the first pitch to Scope. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. When we get into the extra innings of the games, it makes you wonder sometimes why the teams don't pretty much, with the exception of maybe your 3-hitter or your 4-hitter, bunt the guys over. We don't see that a whole lot often either. Even bunt them from second to third, then you can sack fly, can score them, especially when you get into the latter part of this. We've got Troy in the house today. There's our friend from Michigan. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. One thing I'll say is that the Tigers have squandered their opportunities. They did have some more base runners on in the early part of the game, but weren't able to cash in. Their bats have been on ice since they've left the Bronx, although they did score 5 last night. There is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Jonathan Scope. The Tigers lineup today, when you look at it from top to bottom, and you start making the check marks or wherever else, you would have to say that Harold Castro, who had that base hit his last time up, would probably fall into the overachieving category. He's always doing the most with sort of the least in terms of opportunity. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 3-1. Miguel Cabrera is having himself a decent campaign, certainly for the twilight of his career. But when you look down the rest of the Tiger lineup, there are some pretty ugly batting averages. And they just, as a team, really, you have to say they can't hit at this particular level. And it's been a disappointment from Jonathan Scope. It's been a disappointment from Spencer Torkelson to this part. Javi Baez has been a huge disappointment with the bat. And so here's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And that runs the count now to 3-2 on Jonathan Scope. And Troy says, I can't believe the year that Harold has had. Both of the Castros have actually played pretty well, although Willie has cooled off a little more recently. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Scope. It'll be interesting to see if they put Harold Castro in motion. They keep onto the double play. Here comes the 3-2. And there is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. And that is going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Troy says that's why they should have signed Carlos Correa. In some ways, I agree, and in some ways, I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that either. The signing of Correa, to me at shortstop, his range just doesn't play, but he can sure hit the ball. Long term, you'd have to think Correa is going to do the A-Rod where he's going to move over to third base. But right now, he can still get a job as a shortstop somewhere. But any ball that's to him, he can make the plays. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled off. It's reached the seats well down the left field line. Keeps the count at 3-2. And Troy points out, he says that we paid Javi $24 million a year and Correa got $30 million. And that is absolutely correct. And I believe that even though Correa wanted the 10-year deal or whatever it was, I think he got, was it 3 from the Twins with opt-outs? There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Coming hard as the center fielder and diving and making the catch is Reynolds. We're going to have to see if that ball was caught or not, but that sure looks like it was a catch. I thought at first he wasn't going to get there and maybe he even was a trap, but they got the right hand up and they're saying that that is an out. I'd like to see that again on the replay, but a great play by the center fielder Reynolds to take a hit away from Jonathan Scope. We're getting it again on the replay. He was outstretched, and boy, oh boy, I'd like to see that one again, because if it did hit the ground, it may have hit briefly right in front, or did it hit the part of the glove? We're going to get a different replay here, and oh boy, that looks like it hit the grass. Great play by Reynolds, but I think that was a trap, but you can't really review that one because that is going to be a out here for Reynolds. I don't believe they can review that, or if that's a reviewable play, because otherwise it would put runners at first and second for the Tigers. He really outstretched. They went into the gap. Maybe they're having a look at this. They have to take a look and review at that, because how would that affect the base runners? And it looks like they are going to have a look at this, so we're going to see how that is. I think that ball hit the grass, and if that is the case, they can overturn this. But let's see what the umpires see, because sometimes that's some of the other stuff. Troy says, I would have either just paid the extra $6 million for someone who doesn't have the highest chase rate in the league. Don't get me wrong, I love Javi. He's been my guy, but in hindsight, Correa would have been better. Well, if you would have seen the 3 strikeouts that Javi Baez has had today, Troy, your chase rate is absolutely correct. 3 breaking balls that he waved at and missed. And they were basically the same breaking ball. They set him up the same way each time in the at-bat, and he was unable to make the adjustment. So we're waiting on the ruling here, as it is under umpire review. So maybe we're going to have to take that fly ball out away, but see what they have to say in New York about this. That's why we've got the delay in the action. So as Troy says in our chat, he likes Javi Baez, but Javi Baez has certainly had it. So we're going to take a look at this. The play is under review, and it looks like that is not going to go down as a catch. It is going to be overturned. That's going to go down as a single for Jonathan Scope, and that's going to put runners at first and second for the Tigers. So Castro is the runner at second. The runner at first is Scope, and that brings Miguel Cabrera to the plate. For Cabrera today, he is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and grounded out once. And the manager from the Pirates is out of the dugout, and he's getting an explanation from the umpires. He's not happy that call's been overturned. But overturned it is, and that is where we stand right now, as the Tigers have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. Troy is already fist pumping and saying that Miggy's going to clutch this up. Well, this is an opportunity for Cabrera to do it. He's got a career .309 batting average with runners in scoring position after the 7th inning. And this is Miggy time right about now, and there's runners at first and second with nobody out. The infield is in double play depth. And here's the first pitch to Cabrera. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Waiting on deck is Austin Meadows, who has been on base all 3 times today against the Pirates. He's licking his chops for an opportunity to stick it to his one-time team. And there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1 on Cabrera. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Pirates have played fairly well today defensively. Even that play by Reynolds almost took it away. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's lined into center field. It's going to get down. Digging hard from second and coming home is Castro. The throw is offline, and that's an RBI base hit single for Cabrera. He's got himself an RBI, and that is going to put the Tigers in the lead as Castro has scored, and it takes Jonathan Schoop to second base. And the Tigers still have something brewing with nobody out here in the 8th inning, and the score is now 2-1 for Detroit. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Austin Meadows. So the Tigers have now taken the lead here late. Our friend Sauce-Up Game's in the house. He says Miggy's been doing it all year. Well, he certainly has come up clutch, and they are going to have a runner in for Cabrera here. It puts him at number 19 on the list all time since 1920 with that RBI here. On the season, that is Cabrera's 20th RBI of the year. They do have a conference on the mound as Austin Meadows is coming up to the plate. Our friend Sauce-Up Game is on Twitch, so some of you may not see his comments in the YouTube chat if you're joining us on YouTube. So it is a pinch runner, and it looks like it is Derek Hill coming in to run. We'll get confirmation of that in just a moment. No, it's Willie Castro. So Willie Castro is in to run for Miguel Cabrera. So he is the runner at first base. The runner at second is Jonathan Schoop, and the first pitch is ready to be delivered to Austin Meadows as Crone checks the runner at second. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Meadows is 2 for 2 today. He is singled, doubled, and walked. It would be good for the Tigers to get him going again because he was suffering from, I guess what they said, from vertigo. There was a changeup swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. And the vertigo was based on an ear infection. He had an ear infection, and then that ended up giving him a little bit of grief. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says he needs to be hitting homers. Yeah, he hasn't hit a single home run yet this year after, I believe, off the top of my head, depositing 27 for the Rays last year. Expected to be a power source for the Tigers. There's a fastball that misses down. The count is now 2-1. Javi Baez is waiting his turn on deck. Sauce-Up Game says that Isaac Paredes already has 4 this year. I checked in on Paredes a couple of weeks ago, and it looked like he was on the disabled list or had a tour on the DL. But Isaac Paredes, I believe, had 2 against the Tigers in 1 game. There's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-1 to Meadows. One thing I will say is that Meadows certainly exhibits a lot more plate discipline than the on-deck batter, and that on-deck batter is Javi Baez. There's lots of action in the bullpen as Stratton and DeYoung are getting hot for the Pirates. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined to the second baseman. It is caught by Marcano. He throws over to second, but diving back in time as the base runner Schoop. Meadows hit that ball right on the screws. Nice play by Marcano to leap and grab it for the second out, but back to the dugout goes Meadows with nothing to show, and he has retired for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Javi Baez. Nice play by the second baseman, Marcano. He had the leap, and as he's in the air, he leaps, makes the grab. He didn't really get enough on the throw to the shortstop, Castillo, as he was looking over at first base almost as he caught it. And that is going to bring the manager out of the Pirates dugout, and they are going to make a pitching change. He's calling for the right-hander, but we don't know which one, as two right-handers are up in the pen. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment as we have a pitching change in Pittsburgh. Tigers are threatening with runners on first and second and one out. We'll be back in just a minute. Our chat is finally starting to heat up. We're glad you guys are with us. Whether you're listening live or on delay, it's Pirates and Tiger Baseball. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here in the top of the eighth inning. The Tigers have now taken a 2-1 lead over the Pirates with a back-to-back singles. Miguel Cabrera delivering an RBI single in the top of the eighth inning. It is a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard before we get back to this. The Kansas City Royals jumped on the Toronto Blue Jays with 3 in the bottom of the first. It's the only other game going on in Major League Baseball right now. The Blue Jays have responded with one of their own in the top of the second, and it is the score 3-1. The Royals are batting, and they're threatening in the bottom of the second inning. Pitching today for the Toronto Blue Jays, it is Yusei Kikuchi got the start. He only lasted 2/3 of an inning. He'd walked 4 and given up a couple of hits before he was hooked. And they have Trent Thornton now in the ballgame. It's going to turn into a bullpen day. It is Singer on the hill for the Royals. So Singer now going to be facing a bunch of relievers to see if he can get the victory for Kansas City. So the pitching change for the Pirates, it is going to be Chris Stratton entering the ballgame. He is going to be taking over here for Will Crowe. Crowe pitched really well in the first inning of work as he struck out the side for the Tigers. The line drive by Austin Meadows that he was able to get his out of the inning. So Chris Stratton is now coming in. He is on in relief. Stratton began his career with the San Francisco organization. He's bounced around a bit, and then he has landed the last 4 seasons in Pittsburgh. He is 3-2 on the season. He's appeared in 23 games. He's worked 22 1/3 innings. He's allowed 24 hits, 12 runs, 9 of which have been earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 22. So here comes the first pitch to Javi Baez, and it's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. For Baez today, he is 0 for 3. He has gone down on strikes all 3 times today. And everything has been the breaking ball away, and he's waved at them each and every time. Here comes the 1-0 offering. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded back to the pitcher. Stratton over to second for 1. Back to first. It is a Pirate double play. That's going to go into the books as a 1-6-3 double play, as that did retire Willie Castro at second base for the second out. So for the Tigers in their half of the eighth inning, they had 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 7.5. It is the Detroit Tigers 2, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the eighth inning after this when we return. We're glad you guys are with us here, whether you're listening live or on delay. It's always great to have you. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment after this. We got another Tiger pitching change coming up. We'll confirm that with you in a moment. But we'll be back after these tunes in 30 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. It is Bill Fulmer who's coming on in relief for the Tigers. He has going to be August is going to be his 21st appearance of the season. He has worked 20 innings. He's allowed 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which have been earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 20. He's got a 2-2 record, and he's got a 2.70 ERA. He is going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, or scheduled to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. It's supposed to be Yu Chang at the plate, but we do have a pinch hitter. This is Travis Swaggerty now in the ball game. So Swaggerty is hitting 280 in AAA this year, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So Chang's day is done. Chang actually was on base twice today. He had singled and walked. But Swaggerty is going to be taking over here. So Chang, Perez, and the top of the order, Ke'Bryan Hayes, to face Michael Fulmer. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2 to Swaggerty. The Pirates are running out of time here as they're down 3-2. Be able to get some runs off the Tigers. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that gets all the way to the backstop. As that misses not just outside, but it was way outside. Off the glove of the catcher. They do have a defensive change as Daz Cameron has moved over to left field. And Derek Hill has taken over in center. So Hill will be in the lineup where Cody Clemens had hit. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So Hill will replace Clemens, and he is now the new center fielder. Daz Cameron bounces over into left field, and Austin Meadows is still in right. So here comes the 2-2 offering from Fulmer. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung on and fouled away. Swaggerty fouled it right into his lead leg. It's going to keep the Hound at 2-2 strikes. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says Fulmer always gives up the leads. Yeah, Fulmer this season has kind of struggled a little bit. He is kind of got the Shane Green effect going on. There's a fastball that is of the two-seam variety with a little backdoor movement that Swaggerty takes for a called third strike. And he has gone for out number 1 and 1 up and 1 away, and it's going to bring up the catcher, Michael Perez. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says, sorry to be pessimistic, but this team has let me down this year. The Tigers, certainly at this point, have not done anything to earn the trust in the late part of the games from some of their fans. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Perez. Perez today is 1 for 2. He has singled and flown out to right. He is waiting on the 0-1 offering from Fulmer. As Fulmer rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Well, Fulmer, as I say, kind of reminds me of Shane Green a little bit, where Green had that run with the Tigers where it seemed like everything he did was just do nothing but throw gasoline on the fire. But I think long-term, Michael Fulmer is going to be fine. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. I'm kind of curious that if the Tigers do start winning in another year or two, if the Tigers would consider stretching Fulmer out and putting him back into a starting role. And I say that simply because of all the injuries that they have and some of the pitchers that are on the shelf for the Tigers. Would they consider moving him back into the rotation? But at the same time, I also think to preserve his career long term, he's best to be in the bullpen, just because the way his arm works, his arm action. I would have not have projected him to be a type of guy that would have been I don't think I would have had Fulmer being a Tommy John guy. I would have thought he would have been more of a shoulder guy. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I say that just because of the way that his arm motion works. He really lifts with his elbow and he flips. It does put a lot of strain onto the pitcher's shoulders for sure. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into center field. Moving over to his right is Derek Hill. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here for out number 2. So Perez is retired for the second out, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Brian Hayes. For Brian Hayes, he is 0 for 2 on the day. He has grounded out and struck out, but he walked his last time up. So Fulmer gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we said earlier, Hayes is one of the more exciting players in the lineup for the Pirates. He can run a little bit. He's got a little pop in the stick. There's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is now 0-2. Be neat to see how it pans out for Brian Hayes down the trail. The son of former Major Leaguer Charlie Hayes. He had an injury-riddled 2021 campaign his rookie year, but seems like he's healthy now. There's a slider that misses outside, and the count is 1-2 to Hayes. So here comes the 1-2 offering from Fulmer. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fulmer rocking into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it as Hayes goes down on strikes for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it for the Pirates in their half of the 8th inning. So there was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the 9th inning. It is the Detroit Tigers 2, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call. The top of the 9th inning. Just a couple moments. Again, here is our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We'll be back in just a moment. Our friend Sauce Up Game on Twitch says, if Soto pitches, we got this. And I have to tell you, I think you're probably right on that one. We'll be back in a moment, everybody. We're glad you're here with us tuning in. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We have the Tigers coming to bat. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 in the batting order, and that means it's going to be Spencer Torkelson, Derek Hill, and Eric Haas. And they are going to be facing the right-hander for the Pirates, and I believe it is still going to be Chris Stratton in the ball game. We have to get that confirmed, and it absolutely is. He didn't make the other change. Stratton came in and threw 2 pitches, and he was able to induce a double play to end the 8th inning. So Torkelson steps into the plate. He is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He has walked, bounced into a fielder's choice, and has grounded out. And the first pitch from Stratton is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson waiting on the offering from the right-hander Stratton, who comes set at the belt. And he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 1-1. That pitch, they were saying the inside fastball at the belt is a challenge for Torkelson, as that is something that he has struggled with this season. The left-hander Gregory Soto is up and throwing in the bullpen. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. So if I'm Stratton, if the book on them is correct, I'm coming back in with a fastball at the belt inside. I try to put him away, but let's see how the Pirates are going to try to do it. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Torkelson is gone on strikes for out number 1 here to start the 9th inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Derek Hill. Just in watching that at bat, I wonder another season or 2 under his belt if he starts laying off of those pitches, forcing the pitchers to have to actually pitch to him here. So here comes the first offering to Derek Hill. Hill is stepping up to the plate. This is his first at bat, as he's replaced the left fielder Cody Clemens, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The right-hander Stratton gets his sign from his catcher Perez. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's backhanded by Castillo. It's taken on 1 hop. The first baseman, Michael Chavis, who came in defensively after Travis Swaggerty had pinched hit for Yu Chang, makes a great play to pick that one out of the dirt. And that's going to go down as a ground out 6-3 to retire the speedy Derek Hill for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Eric Haas. Our friend Sauce-Up Game was pounding his fist on the table, hoping that Gregory Soto would be coming in to pitch. And that's exactly who is heating up in the bullpen right now, the Tiger closer. So with him coming up, ready to pitch, that's probably the likelihood. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count was 0-1 to Eric Haas. Haas has scored one of the 2 Tiger runs today. He bounced into a fielder's choice and came home on the triple by Daz Cameron. He has also struck out his other 2 times up. So he's officially 0 for 3 today. So here comes the pitch to Haas. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into shallow left field. It's down for a base hit. Haas is aboard with a 2-out single. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Daz Cameron. So line drive, base hit, single for Haas with 2 out here in the 9th. That brings the 9-hole hitter to the plate, and Cameron today is 1 for 3. He tripled home Haas in the 2nd inning. He's grounded to short and struck out his other 2 trips. So he steps into the box, ready to get the first offering from Chris Stratton. So Stratton comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Cameron. Cameron was able to raise his average up to 218 on the season with that hit back in the second inning. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0 to Daz. Cameron needs to start putting some good at quality everyday play together for the Tigers if he wants to stay in the big leagues. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says if Soto had full command, he'd be a top 3 closer, and I feel he's working towards that. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 3-0 to Daz Cameron. And I have to say, I have to agree with you. I think that, there's an old saying, average lefties are as good righties. And in Soto's case, being a left-handed closer might actually give him a bit of an advantage. Our friend The Living Room has bounced in here tonight. He says he made it. He was listening on the radio. He contributing helps the Tigers' chances. Absolutely. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 3-1. I really wonder about the approach of some of these players. 3 balls and no strikes to Daz Cameron, and he's up there hacking 3-0. The way Daz Cameron swings, I would be anchored with the bat on the shoulder at least until you get 1 strike. And there's another pitch taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. Cameron does not help himself sometimes. That last pitch just caught Cameron at the knees. As we say, it's a beautiful day in Pittsburgh for this one. It's too bad that there's nobody in the stands to see it. I don't know what the official attendance is yet. Trying to get it before the end of the game. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the line in right field. It's fair. It's in the corner. Digging for 2 is Cameron. A ball squirts away from the cutoff man. Coming around third and scoring is Eric Haas. And it's going to be a double for Cameron. That's his second hit and second RBI of the game. And the Tigers have extended their lead to 3-1 here in the 9th inning. And all the damage has come with 2 out. So Daz Cameron with a clutch base hit to drive in Eric Haas. Very similar to what had happened in the second inning when Cameron had tripled. And now the Tigers have a 3-1 lead. And that's going to bring up the top of the order, Harold Castro. Harold Castro today is 1 for 4. He singled in the 8th inning and came around to score the Tigers' second run of the game. He's also struck out, grounded out, and flown out. And there he swings and misses at the first pitch. He is 0-1. Castro has been swinging the bat fairly well for the Tigers this year. He's batting .283 at this point. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. You never have to worry about Harold Castro never swinging the bat because he never walks. As we said, entering the ball game this year, 3 walks and 114 plate appearances. So here comes the 0-2 offering. And there's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-2 to Castro. Just a reminder, we are going to be, it looks like we're going to just check our schedule, but we are going to be back on the air again tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are going to call a game between the Red Sox and the Angels. Nick Pivetta is going for the Red Sox. It is Shohei Ohtani going for the Angels. That'll be the game that we're looking to do tomorrow evening. It is a West Coast game, so it'll be a little later in the evening. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-2. We're going to be on our Japanese calls on Friday night. Just a little too difficult to do those 2 a.m. games Pacific time or 5 a.m. Eastern. But we are going to be back on the call again for those starting on the weekend. Certainly on the Friday night game. Saturday is a little bit of a question mark at this point. And then we will probably post something up on Sunday, and then we'll look to do our schedule for next week as we will run a slate of games out. So here comes the 1-2 offering to Harold Castro, and there's a breaking ball that bounces about 7 feet in front of home plate. Nice block by the catcher Perez to keep that in front. So hopefully if you're around, you can join us for one of those. We'll sort our schedule out here in the next little bit. Our friend The Living Room says, The Angels are losers of 13 straight now. That got the manager gassed. The living room said both the former Jays that started last night in the NPB didn't fare that well. I have to say, I haven't checked the scores. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Castro. Count is now 3-2. I did watch part of the game that Matt Shoemaker was pitching. I saw him go through the first 3 innings, and then I had to turn it off. Jacob Waguespack was the other starter last night, and I didn't see what happened in that one. But I did note that there were 2 Blade J pitchers pitching. I haven't seen anything from Shun Yamaguchi this year. I know he's back in the camp with the Yomiuri Giants. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count is 3-2. Our friend Sauce-Up Game on Twitch says we should trade Robbie Grossman. The problem is you really can't get much for Grossman at this point. Although he doesn't have a big contract, maybe a team that needs a veteran bat for a playoff stretch. And there is a fastball. It's a check swing, swung on. It is grounded over to third, fielded neatly by the third baseman, Hayes, over to first. And that is going to do it for Castro. It goes as a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And it is going to be, is it going to be Willie Peralta or is it going to be Gregory Soto? We're going to find out in a moment we come back, but I would think it's going to be Gregory Soto to close this one out. So for the Tigers in the top of the 9th inning, there was 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 8.5. It is the Tigers 3, the Pirates 1. And stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We're glad you're with us. Hang tight.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. The Tigers have gone to the bullpen, and it is going to be Gregory Soto on it, and he is looking to close this one out for Detroit. Came on, got the same night, and the game today and tomorrow, with tomorrow off, bet that obviously Soto in for this one. The Tiger also in 2021 has had an even better year this year to this point. He's worked 21 games. He's got 11 saves. He's got 20 innings pitched. He has given up 14 hits, 7 runs. Only 4 have been earned. He's walked 8 and struck out 17. And he's got a 2-3 record with a 1.80 ERA. And so here he goes. He's going to face the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the batting order for the Pirates. And the first pitch delivered to Brian Reynolds is a fastball down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. For Reynolds today, he is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice, and he has popped out to the second baseman his other time up. Reynolds, the first 2 times up, batted left-handed against the right-handed throwing Alex Faedo. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. The last time he faced Andrew Chafin, turned him around to bat from the right side as he's doing here against Soto. The matchup for that Red Sox game, as I said, it's going to be Nick Pivetta from Victoria, BC against Shohei Ohtani. So interested to be able to make the call on that. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle right to Jonathan Scope, who is standing almost over the bag at second base. He fields it. He throws to first, and Reynolds is retired on a ground out 4-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Jack Sawinski to the plate. Sawinski, well, we're not going to see Sawinski, as that is going to bring Michael Chavis. It looks like they put Chavis in the lineup. I thought that they moved him in for Swaggerty. So it looks like a double switch. So Chavis is in for Sawinski. Chavis is hitting 272 on the season. So as I make my little adjustments here, he takes a first pitch fastball up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Chavis. There's a fastball that's delivered. It swung on and swung right through, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Chavis. So 1-1. Soto holds at the belt, and he delivers a fastball that misses down at 97 in the dirt, and the count is now 2-1. Chavis has 5 home runs on the season. He does have some juice. He originally came over from the Boston Red Sox organization, did Michael Chavis. There is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count's now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And here's the from fastball that's taken at the knees for a call. Chavis was already on his way to first base, but the home plate umpire, Shane Livensparger, brings him back, and he's got his hands on his hips, and him and Chavis are having a conversation. We look at that pitch. That looked like it just caught the inside corner at the knees. And it definitely did on the K zone, so that is going to run the count full. So here comes the 3-2 offering to Chavis. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Drifting back on it is Hill. He's got room, and he's going to make the catch. And Chavis is going to be retired for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, or supposed to bring up the designated hitter, Daniel Vogelbach, and that's exactly who is striding to the plate. For Vogelbach today, he is 0 for 3. He's flown to center. He is grounded to second, and he is struck out. The Pirates are down to their final out. Sauce-Up Game says he hasn't allowed an earned run this year. No, the Soto has allowed earned runs. He's given up about 7 runs, and only 4 have been earned. There's a fastball that misses up to Vogelbach, and the count is 1-0. And it's the ERA of 1.74 at this point. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Vogelbach. So they need a base runner here somewhere to the Pirates, as they are down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So 1 ball and 1 strike, and here's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. Or check that, 2 balls and 1 strike. They may have said something different. Who knows what it is? I sometimes I can't look at the tickers because there are mistakes that happen. There's a fastball that misses outside, and it's 3-1. I have to trust my own scorekeeping. I have to trust my own stuff when I'm doing the things here, because as an example, if you're ever watching the StatCast on the Chavis at bat, the second pitch to Chavis, or the first strike, was a swing and a miss, and they had it down that he took it for a called strike. So you have to always be careful when you're doing it. So now the Pirates have themselves a base runner, as that is ball 4 to Vogelbach. That's not what you want to do with 2 outs, is to put a runner on base. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Diego Castillo. For Castillo today, he is 0 for 3. He has struck out. He's flown to center and grounded to third. The big fella Vogelbach is down to first base. See if the Pirates run for him, or are they going to keep Vogelbach out there running the bases? I guess he really doesn't mean a lot, but he does plug up the base paths for the other runners. I don't know what the Pirates have on the bench in terms of speed. So here comes the first pitch to the right-handed hitting Diego Castillo. He takes a 99-mile-an-hour heater across for strike one, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Diego Castillo. And they do leave Vogelbach to run out there, which is a bit peculiar. There's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1 now to Castillo. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Soto working from the stretch, ready to deliver again. And here comes the pitch to Castillo. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-1. One thing I wanted to look back at on Soto is he actually tried to throw a quick pitch to Vogelbach. I thought that was very interesting. In one of the sequences there to Vogelbach, he ended up throwing a fastball that was low, but he was trying to throw the timing of the hitter off. I didn't really think that was in the repertoire of Gregory Soto. So here comes the 2-1. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined over the head of the second baseman, Scope into center field. And it's going to be fielded, and going all the way around to third is Vogelbach. And so the Pirates are not dead yet, as that's going to bring Cal Mitchell to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 away here in the 9th inning. Soto has given up a walk and a single, all with 2 out, and the Pirates are not dead yet. And it's also going to bring a visit to the mound by the Tigers pitching coach, Chris Fetters. Won't have a word with his young left-hander. So they have a conference on the hill of Tigers. And that's going to bring up Cal Mitchell to the plate. Cal Mitchell tonight is 0 for 3. He did, however, last night turn a Tariq Skubal pitch around for a home run that went into right center field. Mitchell does have some juice in the bat. He's got a couple of bombs on the season. For Cal Mitchell, was the Pirates' second-round pick back in 27 Rancho Bernardino High School in San Diego, California. Southern California is a baseball hotbed. So Mitchell steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. This is his rookie season in the big leagues, and there's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So the runner at third is Vogelbach. The runner at first is Castillo. The Pirates have something brewing here with 2 out. They need a couple of runs to get back in this. They have 3 fielders to the right side of the infield. There's a fastball that misses under the hands, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Soto's got to try to dig deep and find a way to close it out for the Tigers. Cal Mitchell's got to find a way to keep it going for the Pirates. So here comes the 1-1 offering. And Soto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That runs the count now to 1-2. We know that Soto's got 100-mile-an-hour heat from the left side. Oh, I'd be curious to see if he's got something that could wipe him out off speed. Willie Peralta is still up and throwing in the Tiger bullpen. Peralta has had a great year for the Tigers out of their bullpen this year. There was some talk about inserting him into the starting rotation. And there's a breaking ball that's down. They appeal down to the third base umpire, who says that Mitchell didn't go, and the count is 2-2. Good block by the catcher, Eric Haas. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mitchell. Waiting on deck or scheduled to hit on deck is Tupaquito Marcano. So 2-2 to Mitchell. Soto gets his sign from his catcher, Haas. The Pirates are down to their last strike. And here's the pitch from Soto. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Soto has now thrown 23 pitches here in his 9th inning of work. His leash has almost come to an end, especially after appearing in last night's ball game. So there's still runners on the corners, 2 away. Here comes the 2-2 offering to Mitchell. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. 101-mile-an-hour heater that has blown Mitchell away for out number 3. For the Pirates, they threaten, but they don't score in the 9th. There was no runs on 2 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your final score from Pittsburgh, it is the Detroit Tigers 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments to wrap this one up. We're glad you guys have been with us today, whether you're listening live or on delay. We'll be back here in just a moment after this from our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to come back and wrap this baby up. Currently, there's only one ball game going on in Major League Baseball this afternoon. It's been a seesaw affair between, or one other game going on in MLB, between the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. It is a 4-3 lead right now for the Royals in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Royals opened the scoring and chased the starter Yusei Kikuchi in the 1st inning with 3 in the 1st. It was a number of hits, but more so the walks. That was the ending of the day for Kikuchi as he walked 4 batters, allowing a couple of hits. It has then been a pitching parade for the Blue Jays as they've gone to Trent Thornton, and now they've got Richards in the game. Thornton came in and pitched 2 1/3 innings of scoreless relief to stem the tide for the Jays. For the Toronto Blue Jays, they got 1 run back in the 2nd, and then they got 2 back in the 3rd inning. The Royals have now just taken the lead as they are still batting in the 4th with runners on the corners and 1 away. They have a 4-3 lead. So 4-7-0 for the Royals, 3-6-1 for the Blue Jays. For here in Pittsburgh, the Tigers knocked off the Pirates 3-1. The scoring repack on this one was in the 2nd inning. The Tigers, with 2 away, had Eric Haas on first base. Daz Cameron hit a triple to knock him in. That opened the scoring at 1. The Pirates got their only run of the game in the 4th inning when Jack Sawinski hit a solo shot to right center field. And that's where we stood until the 8th inning. And once we got to the 8th, leading off the 8th inning for the Tigers, Harold Castro had a single. Jonathan Scopes singled. And then Miguel Cabrera drove in Harold Castro from second with an RBI single. And the Tigers took the lead 2-1. In the 9th inning, with 2 away, Eric Haas singled, and then Daz Cameron did it again, an RBI double, knocked in Haas all the way from first base. That extended the lead to 3-1, and that's how it ended. The win goes to Will Vest in relief. He goes to 1-1. Will Crow takes the loss. He drops to 2-3. Gregory Soto picks up his save. That is his 12th of the year. All the other games around the MLB today are late starts. So once again, everybody, we appreciate you guys for checking in. And we thank you for being here. Come on back and see us again tomorrow. It'll be the Red Sox and the Angels. Pavetta against